Hello.
Speaking of fun facts, this episode has started.
Yeah, this episode has begun.
This is going to be the last Disney Universe episode.
Yep.
We're committing to it. The last one.
Is it? Wait, okay. Yeah,
What?
it's going to be the last one.
Yep.
I figured it out. I had a question off screen, but I figured it out.
Okay.
It was whether or not green was selected or if white was selected.
Gotcha.
Because there was just enough of a delay.
So we're going to finish this game up today.
Uh-huh.
We got a lot to talk about.
We do.
And then next time we're going to play Harry Potter, Hogwarts Legacy.
Mm-hmm.
Should be pretty exciting.
Yeah.
We got some catching up to do. We got a parrot to pet.
We do.
So let's get into that theme song and get this stuff rolling.
Ooh.
Wow.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back. It's
Can
Pete.
you hear that?
What?
Could you hear that in your?
The theme song?
Yeah.
No, I just watched it.
Oh.
And
He
then
just knows.
I knew where the
I was
noise
like, wow, that was pretty
It's
good.
baked into his noodle. How many do we have to do?
A lot.
100?
I think we did
Okay.
100 last time.
125.
Something like that. So it's been 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, Super Bowl's
It's
last
been a
Yeah.
little while.
Yeah. So we're in Arizona
Mhm.
and we had the Super Bowl here
Yeah.
and
Chaos.
the Waste Management
Madness.
Golf Tournament
Yeah.
and the Bear Jackson Car Show.
Mhm.
Yeah. And they
And-
all happen within 4 square miles of each other, with the exception of the Super Bowl.
Same weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and there was also Cornhole Championship. in
Okay, I didn't know
Arizona.
that.
Yeah.
Didn't know
That's
that.
the only one of those things that I might consider like watching.
So it was a crazy, crazy weekend for our city and state. Absolutely bonkers, but we made it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you do anything?
Oh, yeah, I worked
Yeah.
long hours.
We grocery shopped on Wednesday and then we didn't leave the house for the
Yeah.
rest of the weekend.
We went to a butcher shop,
Oh, yeah.
got some fresh cuts of stuff like meatloaf. We had a garlic mashed potatoes
Oh, that sounds pretty
with
good.
Full
whole
cloves of garlic.
Oh, that sounds really good.
You would be the only one because it was too garlicky for me.
Tia was eating the cloves.
Yeah, I think it's good. I love garlic.
I like garlic, but I don't want
Not
to
that
eat
much.
a garlic
Yeah.
whole.
Was it like pre-made at this butcher shop?
Yeah, yeah. And then you your oven it.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you throw
But
it in the oven.
They
for a bit.
had rows of freezers where you could either get like a 3 to 6 person meal of it or like a 30-person catering tray of it.
Yeah, it's
um,
crazy.
And so everything was delicious. Everything was super
Yeah,
good.
all of it was.
It is expensive, but it's worth
Yeah,
it.
well, it's like a
Choice.
mom and pop shop, so
Yeah.
they're like they have to be expensive.
Yeah.
Is it the one that's up by your parents?
Mhm.
Okay, I haven't been there yet.
Gotcha. I mean, would you?
I would check it out
Okay.
because
I mean, you just do meat, right? So it's
Yeah.
okay. Would try the competition.
I would just see what
Corporate espionage.
I would like to see what their cuts look like.
Mm,
Yeah. No,
interesting.
it was crazy good for like because to put them on blast.
I know it's not 100.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, to put them on blast, we were gonna get Chick-fil-A for 5 people. And it was gonna be $140, and they said no, we're too busy. So we went to the butcher shop, and we spent $96, and we had dinner for 5 people for 4 nights.
Wow, that's
It
pretty
was
good.
Way
Chick-fil-A
better.
said no.
Yeah.
Yeah, they turned it down.
They turned it down.
We made a DoorDash pickup order, and they said we can't. Your business is no good here. We're full.
Unbelievable.
$140 tab, and they were like, no.
They're like, nah.
It was insane. That's
All right.
how busy it was.
I think it's 125. So let's do that, and then we can
3, 2, 1.
Oh,
Bronze, baby.
Bronze trophy.
I was about to say false hope on 3. Are we going to 150? Or are we good here?
let's do 150.
Why not?
I liked the dopamine of that trophy popping up. So we can
Well,
get
you're
one
gonna love this one.
more. Oh my
Wow.
god. Okay, now we can jump over.
That instant gratification.
yeah,
That parrot is so satisfied today.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it missed a
Wow.
week, so
Yeah, we gotta
make up
catch
for
up.
it.
He's like, oh my gosh, all the pets.
All right, switcher. Toss a coin to your switcher.
There you go.
Universe.
Did you watch that show?
Yeah.
Both seasons?
just the
Yeah.
first one.
I watched both, and then I made Papa watch both.
They're pretty good.
And he was like, I don't want to watch this. And I go, you will. I'm like, you will like season 2. But if I just let you watch season 2, it won't mean anything. And he's like, whatever, fine. And then he's like, that was really good. Because he made me watch Blood Origin.
Was the second season
And that was vomit inducing.
really good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Season 2 is very good.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. I didn't watch the prequel yet.
Don't.
Oh,
It's
pretty bad, huh?
It's awful. Okay, so I won't spoil it in case you want to watch it. All I'm going to say is the way that they start the show is my least favorite way of people starting a show. And it started with Yaskir the Bard, and he's talking to a deity who pulls him out of time. Don't ask how or why. They don't explain it, and they never will. And they're just chatting about how he needs to tell the story of some people, and they don't explain their significance yet. You need to tell a story about this person and their companions called the Lark. And he's like, okay, but why? And she's like, because the best stories need to be told. And he's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure people don't need like another rehashing of the same story.
Here, Drew, come get that key.
And she's like, no, it's not a rehash. Have you ever heard the story with a slight twist? And he's like, no. She goes, then you need to tell this story. And it's assembling a team of ragtag individuals to fight a bad guy. And it's just so lazily written
Come get this key, Drew.
that I hated it. Oh, man. Okay. Key,
Yes.
box. Good.
Present
Yeah, I
for
definitely
you.
didn't watch it. I don't really.
Carpet.
I remember liking the first season, and then
There's an upgrade you guys can get.
yeah, I'm trying to think how we get that though.
Grubs.
We need to bomb this though, real quick. I don't really remember it. Like I remember liking it, but I don't really remember much about it. I feel like I'd have to
So-
watch it again.
Season 1 Witcher is the one with 3 timelines.
Yeah, I remember
And it's
that.
a little
kinda. Oh,
it's
this
a little
here it is.
jarring. And then season 2 Witcher, they make fun of the fact that season 1 Witcher had 3 timelines.
Here you go, Drew. They make fun of it.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that how the games are? Is it kind of meta like
I have
that?
no idea. I have not played The Witcher. So I have, thanks to PlayStation Plus from back in the day, I have The Witcher 3, the Blood Hunt thing with everything in it from PlayStation Plus. All DLCs included.
Okay.
I booted it up for 10 minutes. I went, this is neat. And then I never played it again. I'm not
Three's
saying,
the one that everyone likes, right?
Yeah, I'm not saying it was bad. I'm just saying it felt kind of samey.
Mm.
It just feels like every other third-person action RPG open world
Gotcha.
DVD RPGs.
I wanted to play Witcher 3, but I thought the graphics were just so bad. But now that they're like redoing it,
I thought they were like really good.
They
Um,
are pretty good. It does have some.
Are you lying?
It has some
No.
LA. It has some LA Noire facial stuff
Oh.
for sure. I didn't do nothing. Honest. I think he did it.
but now that they're like,
Thank
like
you.
remastering it or whatever.
I'll take
Plant the seed. Plant it right here.
Plant this.
Well, I
Go
feel
give-
like
go
they've
give it a go.
remastered it 10 to 30 times. Oh. Okay.
There we go.
These are just water balloons.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't know that I would say it's got bad graphics, but I'm also not really like a graphics stickler.
Was that a PS3 game or was that PS4?
Yeah, I think it was a
It was
3.
PS3, yeah. And
Oh,
then
there's a
they
grub.
remastered it on 4.
Let me plant the seed and we'll grab it.
But yeah, I don't know. Like graphics are never
Over
a
here.
make or break for me.
Somebody grab this grub.
But I play stuff like
Where's it at?
NetHack.
Down here.
So like I
Well,
got no right to talk.
The
'cause it's
difference
just a
though is
text
that's like
window.
an art style and not like a
Yeah.
like you know what you're getting into with that.
Yeah.
There's a difference between like Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, which is intentionally that way. A lot of it's because of the system constraints, right?
Yeah.
But granted, they worked within those confines and made an art style.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not, it's different. But when you try to be photo real and it's uncanny, it's weird.
Yeah, no,
That's where
I'll
I
get
think
that.
the
Oh, there's a thing over here.
there's also a Game
yeah, just hit the
Boy.
game.
I'm a
Kill all these
chicken.
nerds. So Drew and I just got out of Ant-Man and
Yes.
the Wasp: Quantumania, and Robbie has not seen it, so we can't go into full spoilers.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be very careful.
But someone that I know who's very, very into Marvel,
Marvel pilled, if you will.
yeah, loves like everything they've done, right?
Oh.
Like they've done no wrong so far.
Uh huh.
Saw this movie and was like, I thought it was pretty good, and I hated the ending. I was like, okay, I'm kind of intrigued by that. I don't know if it's like maybe something serious happens. I'm thinking maybe along the lines of like Infinity War, where like people die and they like weren't happy with that kind of deal. And I watched the movie and I was like, you know what, this is pretty good. I'm liking this movie quite a bit. And then the very end, I went, you know what, I get it. I understand why they're upset. And it's just like right at the last second, it's like a rug
Plant
pull.
a seed over here, I think.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
And we
you
got to
say a
water
water
that
balloon.
plant. But we got to plant one over there too. I saw where
Okay.
Robbie was. I don't know, Drew. I don't know if you disagree.
I got to be careful
Yeah,
because I don't want to, like, I don't want to pop off, if you will.
for sure.
I enjoy most Marvel things. I am not someone that thinks that Marvel can do no wrong. They can do some wrong. Some of the Phase 4 stuff has been a little Phase 4 rough. But I really like this movie. It was I don't know if it's too spoilery, but I got some pretty heavy Star Wars vibes from
Yeah,
it
for sure.
in the sort of design and execution, which I'm not Star Wars pilled.
Keep pausing.
I do not enjoy.
I feel like we didn't get 3 grubs.
No, we did.
We definitely did.
Okay.
I don't really enjoy any recent Star Wars stuff. Meaning like the most recent trilogy, like Solo. I liked Rogue One. That's the exception.
I think we've talked about that on this show.
Yeah, that's almost certainly come up. But I don't really like generic alien world number 12 stuff for world building. So that's a personal thing. So anytime that comes up in any media, I'm like, why? And they're like, yeah, we invented our own language for them. And I'm like, why? I love doing that stuff. I'm a hypocrite. But when you do that for every possible thing and then they get 2 seconds of screen time, it doesn't really make sense to me.
Here. Got it?
Yeah. But I liked it. Just some pretty heavy Star Wars vibes. But then absolutely I agree with you. You kind of gotta stick the ending on these things.
Yeah.
So without saying anything about why, I get it. I kind of agree.
We'll discuss after Rob sees
Yeah,
it.
so the next time we do this we'll do it live. But to talk about something I think we're all caught up on.
Last of Us?
Last of Us.
Did you watch the last one?
Of course.
You watched the Last of Us?
Dude.
Of course.
So quick sidebar, every time I watch it with Daddy, he goes, you want to watch The Rest of Us? And it's delightful.
That's awesome.
I
Sometimes-
also watch or I listen to the podcast.
The companion show.
Yeah.
We got that. You can get off that button.
It's pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it like behind the scenes stuff or what? Like what is it?
It's Neil Druckmann.
You good?
Yeah, my leg is like asleep. It's Neil Druckmann, Troy Baker, and the other guy that's like co-directing the show with Neil Druckmann.
That's always in the behind the scenes thing.
Yeah, he did Chernobyl.
Yeah.
It's them talking and like what's their reasons behind why they did it this way or whatnot.
Okay.
And it's really interesting.
Any fun insights from this last episode? Which, for context for you guys, because this is a little bit in the past, was the
Sam and Henry.
Sam and Henry episode.
Yeah, episode 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. What were they?
Which I guess, spoiler alert if you haven't watched it. Your last chance. We're going to talk about it.
There's a scene in the show where, they go underground and they show the school
Yeah.
type living area.
Yeah.
In the game, it's different. You
Oh,
go
yeah.
more in depth. And they're like, we can't go that in depth in the show, but let's give it like
Let's try your friend's base.
they wanted to like give it a
Done.
homage, not a homage, but
An homage?
like a reminder, to keep it kind of faithful to the game.
Uh-huh.
So they just threw that in, and then
You talk about the note on the wall?
just like
for,
that
like,
whole
Ish?
just like that whole school underground thing.
Yeah.
Like originally, they were like, let's not have it in there.
Well, yeah, but I thought that was kind of cool, and like the way they handled like the sniper tower bit,
Right.
or like that's
Oh, that was
very clearly
brutal.
like an element in the game, but they changed that up quite a bit, but like still framed it in a way.
Do I have to get up there?
Yeah, looks like
You know
it.
what?
They
got a better idea.
that also originally that was
Seed.
filmed in the daytime,
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, that would have been weird, though.
and they were
Oh,
like,
in the game, right? Or are you saying like they filmed it in the day and made it nighttime?
yeah. They're like,
Interesting.
hey, how do we make this scarier? And one of
Make
them's
it
like,
nighttime.
Make it nighttime, dude.
Yeah.
Fire is even scarier at night.
Yeah,
And
but
they're
they
like-
so wait, they filmed it in the day still though, or did they go back and then do it at night?
I think they went back and did it at night.
Oh, okay. I was
But-
gonna say because it's really really hard to film at night. I watched a thing on Nope, which was really interesting because they filmed Nope in the daytime and
Are
had
you
to.
Midas? What's going
Yeah, I
on?
didn't mean it. We need another seat up there, by the way, where the zebra is. Yeah, and so they had to film it
Oh,
in the
hold on,
daytime
there's
and
a
change
star.
it to nighttime. Oh, so I need that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they had to film in the day.
Yes, but you can always tell that like stuff has been altered in that way, and so it's really difficult to do it believably. And what they did was they filmed it on 2 cameras, and one was regular, and then the other one was like I think it was like infrared, because infrared gets all your like textures and levels and stuff, and so then they could use that to make a more natural night looking scene. So it took all these extra cameras and all this extra effort. So that's why I asked, because if they like use something similar or if they went back and did it at night, because it's so hard to capture that light.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was interesting, and they also said about when filming at night, they're like, it was brutal because like no one wants to film at night. You're working long hours, everyone's tired, and then they had to do it for like I think a couple weeks, that scene,
Oof.
because they built that entire neighborhood
Yeah.
from scratch,
Dang.
and because they needed and they had to build it. They built that whole neighborhood in like a week
Dang.
because they were under time.
Props to that set building team.
Yeah,
Seriously.
So they like the insides weren't done, but the outside and everything was fully built. And so, and then on top of that, since they're filming in Canada, it started to snow sometimes.
Oh man.
And they're like,
so you'd have to like wait. And
yeah,
melt it,
they had
or-
to wait.
Dang.
So they said it was pretty rough.
I greatly agree with making Sam deaf being
Yeah.
a positive change.
Oh, they brought that up too.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was just
It
brutal.
yeah, it makes that whole character dynamic so much like more intense and interesting at the same time. But also from a story perspective, where he's like flipping the little thing and writing stuff, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, what's he gonna say?
That
Because you're
broke me.
yeah,
As I imagine it broke many people.
you're limited, right? Because you can't just say everything. You have to choose your words carefully because you're writing. You're not going to waste your time
Yeah.
Right.
scribbling on that pad unless it's a worthwhile thing.
2 facts on that.
Okay.
In the podcast, they were like, they didn't want the same dynamic as Joel and Ellie.
Uh-huh.
So like
someone's got to hit this button for me.
they talk a lot, right? Joel and Ellie.
Yeah.
So they're like, how do we make Sam and Henry's relationship different? And they're like, let's make him deaf. And they're like, that sounds fantastic. So now their problem was, where do we find a deaf kid?
That kid did such a good job.
He did.
It was his first role.
That's
Yeah, he absolutely killed
he
it.
killed it.
It might have been Neil Druckmann who did it, but they looked around and they weren't finding anyone. So they went on Twitter and they're like, hey, this is what we're looking for. Just send in your review and we'll give you an audition. And he was like, I was expecting like 80 auditions, but we only got 8.
Wow. That's so trippy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would think you'd get a lot. But I don't know how many people that have like deaf children would be like, yeah, let's go to Hollywood. Or,
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Not physically, but
There's a star up there. I don't know how to get it.
we might need a little bouncy thingy.
Well, there's some stuff on fire, and there's a tree up there we can knock over, and there's bombs.
So,
Damn.
Very
those-
good. Very good episode.
Exceptional work.
The bit was interesting with the Karen. I think her name was Kathleen.
Yeah,
but she
yeah.
is a Karen. In that, like, I wish we understood who she was sooner, because I kept questioning like the entire time, like, why do they care? Like, why are they listening to her?
Yeah.
What power does she have that this militia?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because that was always the big thing, is the guy that played Tommy in the games, Perry.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, there's no way this guy's taking orders from anybody.
Yeah. Here,
Like,
come
he's
over here.
got an entire militia group
I gotta put the fire out.
at
Now.
his beck and call.
Okay.
How on earth is he listening to anybody?
Yeah. We need one more.
I'm just gonna get rid of this tower real quick.
Okay.
But yeah, that would have been kind of cool.
It
get more of.
It just would have helped. Like, I understood once they said it, but it took
Yeah.
too long to say it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because I didn't want to, like, I would have been more into the weeds of the episode if I didn't keep wondering how on earth this woman's controlling an entire militia.
Yeah, that's understandable.
I think I think I have an idea that fixes that. Again, great episodes. I'm
yeah.
in no way like a show director.
I
but
love it too.
I think I have a single scene that fixes
Oh.
it for you,
It's still
that solves that issue.
there's still a fire.
And I think what you do is you do a similar flashback scene from 10 days ago, and you show who that guy was.
Yeah.
Show her brother,
Yeah.
show him doing anything, and then show him getting arrested.
What was over there?
It was a grub.
Grub, grub, grub.
How do we get that star back there?
What star?
That one that's
There's
over
one like
here.
floating in the air.
Oh, still is. I mean, I'm max level, so it doesn't
yeah,
matter.
everybody's at max.
Oh, okay. Thought we needed it.
Nah.
I forgot.
I mean, we can still get it, but
It's all right.
It's mostly bragging rights at that
oh,
point.
you know what? Hold on. I have an idea, and I just want to know for testing purposes, in case we need it later on. Can you jump with this guy? And can he like buck you off? Okay.
I thought if I hit you,
Yeah, that didn't help.
What about this? Break this. Bring a bomb over here.
oh,
thought
there's, yeah,
maybe-
there's probably a jar in there.
I thought maybe the zebra would be able to
Did I miss?
kick his legs.
Missed it.
Yeah.
You definitely missed.
It went in a hole.
But
I'm very excited for the next two. I've heard we're in for a ride, and I know you guys know what's gonna come up, but I do not.
Yeah.
I kind of like it because I do and I don't because
Yeah.
there's some things they change.
Oh,
That's like, that's why when Sam and Henry showed up, I told Dad, I go, hey, I might have to screen this one for you.
Did he watch it?
He watched all but
The
literal part with both Sam and Henry.
That scene is so intense too.
I know.
I think they did it way better than the game did because I watched the cutscene afterwards. Because like,
Well,
there-
Sam being deaf makes that much more brutal, and Ellie knowing makes it more brutal.
yes, and like the fact that she tries to cure him too.
Yep. That's
Yeah.
brutal. You're a mad genius.
Oh, you know what they said, which made me think. They were like, when Ellie wakes up and she makes a sound,
He wouldn't hear it.
Yeah.
he still doesn't hear it.
Yeah.
So therefore, he's still in there, not fully like taken over by
Well,
the.
no,
No, like his
'cause
body.
His body's
his
deaf.
body literally can't.
Because the
hear.
cordyceps can't like fix his ears.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that's why it was so much worse. Is because Ellie's thinking, "Oh, it worked. I'm sorry, I fell asleep."
Yeah.
And then for him to just go full.
Yeah.
Is
Exactly. So that it like
awful.
defends them from the people that are like, oh, how did she sleep through that and not?
Because
You know what I mean?
Oh,
Well, that's
yeah,
It's
what-
like he would have just attacked her in her sleep.
no, but that's what broke my heart about it. Is that Sam said, "Sit up and wait with me."
yeah,
And then she falls asleep, so he's like, "Okay, I guess I'll just look at the wall
yeah.
so that she can just leave." and it's absolutely
Yeah, the show
brutal.
is fantastic. I
Yeah.
read an article the other day saying they got like how many minutes people have watched, and it's over the data of 2 episodes. Last of Us surpassed House of Dragons by like 120 million minutes.
Oh, I don't doubt it at
Because
all.
it's a good show.
So like,
Well, that and like you have people like Drew and I that were watching Game of Thrones that don't want to anymore because
You've lost me.
you blew it so bad.
right. But yeah, like House of Dragons had like 742 million minutes, and Last of Us was at 828
heck?
million.
Oh, you guys dragged me over. Hold on. Come here.
I had a bomb. I was trying not to kill anybody.
There's a switch there too.
bomb on
And
my
I was
hip.
like, dang, that's impressive.
That is pretty nuts.
That's a lot of time.
How do I pull this?
I think we need to crank that slot open.
Think so?
Okay. Yeah, it's really good. I do want to pause it again. I'm not someone that's played the game all the way through, but from a
Not
story,
for a lack of trying, but
yeah, from a story perspective, can you imagine if instead of the way it panned out with Sam and Henry, if something happened inverse or he like killed them, and then the story carried on from his perspective instead?
Oh, that'd be nuts.
Because it's one of those. Oh man, I'm always so bummed because I worked so hard to get this trophy, and then now I keep getting the game.
no,
to
we get
do
the
it.
game over and over again.
Like, I don't know where the story would have gone or if it would have been as good. However, can you imagine setting that premise? Like, you worked that long to like
Oh man,
get those 2 characters that far, and they just get axed, and then you carry on another story. Because then you have that sort of Game of Thrones mentality of like literally nobody's safe.
Right.
yeah,
And you then everything you're on edge for, and everything's super high stakes because they're not afraid to, even if that's the only time they do it. But you set that bar of like
yeah,
literally everything is life or death, and just because they're the main character doesn't
Yeah.
mean
Right.
like if they just pulled that rug in that moment, how crazy
Yeah.
that would have been.
Rob, did you play Last of Us 2?
I did. Platinumed it.
Yeah, it's it's really hard because I want to I want to talk about that now, but I'm like, well, if they make a show out of it,
Well, we'll
Joel will
we're getting
experience
season
it
done,
too.
right?
We're getting
We're
season
done, right?
2.
yeah,
We got all the grubbies.
I don't think we did. Oh, we
yeah,
did.
we
Never
did.
mind. Okay, yeah.
How do we leave?
Just touch
Yeah,
grass.
White Rabbit.
So yeah, we get a season 2 of the show.
Yeah.
I thought you said there was going to be 2 more.
Well, here's what I want to know:
Well-
is season 2 going to be The Last of Us 2, or is it going to be more of
No, it's gonna be Last of
1?
Us 2, but
Because that's going to kill me.
season 2, like Last of Us Part 2 game, there's so much to tell.
Yeah, they're going to do.
That-
Is the
see-
story a lot longer in Last of Us 2?
Yeah.
From a single player perspective.
Yes, it's
You probably have an additional like
And-
possibly 6 to 9 hours.
yeah,
more.
because you play through the entire game, and then you do an entire other game, and you're like, this is brutal.
Dang.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Let's go buy the White Rabbit and max them out.
So
Yeah, it's hard not to like bring up certain things.
Sure.
I'm
but-
pretty excited.
Here's what I do want to ask is, go ahead. You can.
I always think I've hit it, and then there's like another menu.
Is there anything so far from the game that they've cut for the show other than like just gameplay? Like I would say obviously there's going to be interactions and things, but is it usually just like you're exploring the building for ammo and stuff, or have they skipped over any like characters or anything yet?
Other than Bill and those interactions, no. But I think the Bill change was for the best.
Yeah.
As I don't think that's like a world-breaking opinion. I think the whole world kind of has that idea.
I've enjoyed every episode, and
Yeah.
what they've done is just so good. I'm just like, I don't have
It's-
any complaints.
Yeah.
You lose out on the. I think some of the attachment, not playing from Joel's perspective, because when it's your fault and you have to watch the cutscenes when you fail,
Gotcha.
it's brutal. But I think the show is phenomenal in the sense that I'm hoping it has set a new bar
Yeah, you'd hope
and that
so.
people won't just make.
Well, considering that
Garbage
they've made
adaptations.
5 pretty amazing episodes,
Yeah,
and the show's now halfway over,
yeah,
I mean, they've set the bar pretty high.
Yeah, but who's to say like that anyone else would, any company would justify?
yeah. Like if they came out tomorrow and they're like, "Ooh, Amazon's making a Call of Duty show,"
Well,
you know it's gonna be
We
better.
have Netflix doing Horizon Zero Dawn.
Are they really?
Really?
I didn't know that.
And then they have Amazon doing God of War.
Okay, so I'm gonna hold my tongue because I was exceptionally wrong about Last of Us. But those are 2 more games where I'm like, wait, why?
What are we doing?
We don't need money in
I
junk.
got hit by a thing. I'm sorry.
Drew's like, go ahead, jump off.
I was on the button and I got hit by a
Die.
power up guy.
Just need to do this.
Because I was with Last of Us, I was like, why make that? And
Yeah.
Uncharted was the first one. I was like, why would you do this?
Come
Like
over
the
here,
game
boo.
is already cinematic
Oh
enough.
my god. All right.
Like just play the game. But then
Yeah.
with Last of Us, they've done it
This
so
way,
much
this way.
better than the game did that I'm kind of like, okay, never mind, I get it. But
Stop moving, Abu.
let me hold on. Let me just let go of it. That'll be easier.
Thank you.
So like, I love Horizon Zero Dawn. I think it's very fun. I have not played the sequel or even the DLC.
I put
I
about
just really like the
15
game.
hours into the sequel.
We need the cannon.
Is it good,
It's
or is it just kind of more?
it's more
Okay,
with a little like extra like
more with a little sauce,
Blow up
Yeah.
these rocks.
a little special sauce on there. That's fair.
Grab that.
I feel like
That's
a lot
cannon.
of kind of unnecessary sequels just kind
Oh,
of bamf out of
jeez.
nowhere, and they're just like, "Hey, we added a new feature, and it's always a bow and arrow."
like don't get me wrong. Like I played a lot of Horizon Zero Dawn and the DLC that came out with it,
Yeah,
and I enjoyed it very much. And then the second one came out and they added more stuff, and you're like, all right, cool, more Horizon. But I just am not in the mood for more Horizon at the
yeah.
moment.
Yeah. I think that would be a pretty interesting movie / show if they did
Yeah.
it well. But again, I'm going to continue this conversation under the assumption. Here, keep going, guys. Keep going. Let's cross the tree. We're speed running this. We
Yeah.
just got to plant these plants and get out of here. Under the assumption that any of these are going to be good, right? I'm just going to assume that they are.
Yeah,
I was kind of thinking about
the
this
bar has been set.
in the movies today because there was a preview for Indiana Jones. And I was like, what if we don't? right?
Indiana Jones and the Temple of Harrison Ford.
What if we just don't?
That looks pretty good.
And instead put
I'm
our
ready to be heard
efforts
again.
into doing like a really good Tomb Raider because that's like the same thing.
Oh yeah.
And put some legit effort
and
into
because
it.
every Tomb Raider movie's been
yeah.
pretty bad.
But also because they're like wanting to do, they're like, oh, Indiana Jones is gonna pass the torch to a woman kind of deal. Like, just don't, just let it be what it is, and do a. Because the movie, like itself, it does look fun. It looks like a fun action adventure movie kind of deal, right? But it's just a premise to set it up for
Yeah, but
who the replacement's gonna be.
yeah,
And so why not just do Tomb Raider or someone else and start
Make
a new
a-
thing?
making an archaeological cinematic universe
Mm.
where he runs into Nathan Drake, played
Yeah.
by Tom Holland.
I could totally see that happening.
We're not far.
I just wish they tried harder with Uncharted. I haven't even seen it, but I don't need to know.
Did you guys see like the original Tomb Raiders?
The movies
a
with Angelina
million
Jolie?
years
Yeah.
ago, but yes.
I don't remember it at all.
They're not horrible.
Yeah, but if they did it with amount of care and effort as they did Last of Us,
Oh yeah, it'd be amazing.
right?
be,
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
absolutely amazing.
Take that to the next step.
Like the most recent Tomb Raider games have been good.
Well, they did do
Take
that,
that and
Tomb
go.
Raider movie. They like tried to follow the games, the new games, with the new movie that came out like 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh yeah, but that was garbage.
Yeah, it wasn't that good.
But like do it well.
But like try.
do a
Yeah.
good job.
Yeah.
Put effort in.
Yeah. I think this, hopefully, to what we're saying in the end, long story short, is that executives will see this and say, okay, we can take video game based things more seriously.
Yeah.
It's not just like, yeah, whatever. You don't have that much money. Like the Assassin's Creed movie with Michael Fassbender was so
Was-
stupid.
I didn't see it.
Really
That's fine.
dumb. You didn't miss anything.
But like it could have been cool, right? But I feel like they just have that stigma and like, yeah, but you have a lower budget and don't try too hard.
You know
'cause it's
how
not
in
gonna be worth the
Assassin's
money.
Creed you kind of just sit through the Abstergo parts at first?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the movie is all those parts.
Oh.
You don't get to see him in the Animus ever. Like, he's never an assassin. He's just getting out of the machine like another long day.
You kidding me?
No.
It's like the worst Assassin's Creed movie ever.
It was.
It was really
And they
stupid.
set it up for the inevitable sequel, and then we didn't get it because...
I
It's
think
bad.
now that we're having, like you said, we're having good video game movies come out, like Sonic. I'm not saying Sonic's good, but
Yeah,
it's making
performing
a lot of money.
well. Yeah,
And
That's right,
then
yeah.
we get
Are we going to do the game or you want to
yeah. Actually, yeah, do it.
we get Super
points.
Mario.
Yeah, hopefully that's good.
Probably will make a
Wahoo.
lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yahoo.
now we got Last of Us.
Yeah. Oh, I did watch the Mario Kart Last of Us.
So did I. It was pretty great. It's a me, Mario.
Let's go. You really eat that poison? I need it to feel big.
It's interesting though, because like in the complete opposite of what we are just talking about, although it is funny, that's the kind of stuff that keeps the video game adaptations from being successful because that's the stigma, right?
Is
Like
that it's going to be that
they do
trashy
that as a
bad.
joke. And, you know what I mean? Does that
Right.
make sense?
Yeah.
It's going to be produced by Taron Killam.
Uh,
No offense if you're Taron Killam.
dude, if
You
you,
seem like a nice guy.
yeah, I gotta get that plant.
Why does that rabbit look so distressed?
We did see in the theater. I thought it was kind of interesting that they have some of the streaming movies in the theater. Like you can go watch it in the theater.
Yeah, that usually happens. Like they do it in theaters 2 weeks before it goes.
No,
to,
like it was a Apple TV movie that wasn't in theaters that they're just showing.
Oh, really?
In theaters, yeah.
I have some insider intel, and it's that there's not enough new movies that people go to see. So they're
Excuse
kind
me,
of just
boys.
taking
I
anything
gotta
they
get
can
the
get,
star.
I mean, yeah, like
which I don't blame them.
there hasn't really been any movies out lately.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to it either. Like I'm down to have that as a.
Because if you do 2 big releases every other month or so, and you've got 12 theaters and you got to do 15 showtimes a day or whatever, you kind of got to make it work. But it is
March-
bizarre that it's like Apple.
Yeah, March is absolutely stacked for movies though.
Yeah,
I'm
it is.
actually kind of excited.
I don't even remember.
We were just looking at it a little bit ago, but let's get out of here, boys. My most excited for one is 65, the Adam Driver dinosaur
Oh, yeah,
thriller,
yeah.
written by the guys that did A Quiet Place. Excited for that.
Did John Krasinski write or direct? Quiet
Directed.
Place? He
Directed.
directed.
Then there is the Mission Fortune Rue de Guerre movie, which is a Guy Ritchie movie.
Oh, I love Guy Ritchie.
Yeah, and it's Jason Statham. I'm not a huge Aubrey Plaza fan, but
she's pretty funny.
and the guy Josh Hartnett.
Yeah, and it's crazy to see Josh Hartnett because I haven't seen him in a very long time.
Yeah, he
Nobody has.
Yeah, so
I think he only did Lucky Number 11, right?
No,
he did other
He
movies.
did something else.
He
yeah,
came back.
in that time period. He did a ton.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's the only thing I've seen him in.
Yeah,
But I don't. Like, if you showed me 5 dark-haired actors, I don't think I could tell you which one is
so
him.
I think that one's March 3rd, so it's only 2 weeks away.
I'm excited for that movie. I love Guy Ritchie films.
Yeah, so I'm gonna see that one. I'm gonna see 65. Then we have the Dungeons and Dragons movie, John Wick 4.
John Wick.
I love John Wick. It's great. I want this one to be good and I want it to be over. I know I've said that 50 times and I know it's not true, but for real, guys, like enough's enough.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we're close to the end of John Wick's story.
Spoilers for the other John Wick, but he fell off a building after getting shot point
Yeah.
blank like 7 times, and he hit every awning on the way down.
It's all right.
It was a
Doesn't matter.
digi. It's fine. He's just a digi.
He was wearing a body armored suit, right?
Have you seen that video, Robbie, where it's a guy and he's a
Oh,
digital stunt double? And
They-
he just looks like a PlayStation character, and he talks about like how they go unrecognized and no one pays attention to digital doubles or gets credit. And like, oh, this guy, or Chadwick Boseman played Black Panther, and this guy was a stunt double. I was his digital double. No one knows who I am.
they
That's
show
really
him.
funny.
They show him on a rooftop, and they just kick him in the chest, and he goes flying into a dumpster. And they go, "All right, rap, let's go." And they just leave him in there.
He lives
And they
in
wa-
like a.
And they walk the camera over. There's just like a little polygon sim guy in the dumpster, and he's like, "Yep, that was a good shot, guys. I'm still in here."
Have you been keeping up with the AI stuff, dude?
I read
Have you been keeping up with the literature?
I read
Yeah,
the
for
other
real.
day that Microsoft is having a really big problem
With elaborate.
with the AI search bar or whatever that they have
Bing.
going on.
Yeah.
The Bing bopper?
sentences that they were trying to create, they had to shorten it because what it was replying
Oh
back.
yeah. I was
Yeah.
telling Drew about
I
that.
was like,
I was
what?
laughing
It's
so
getting
hard.
weird.
I'm not being aggressive. I'm being assertive, monkey
Like
face.
I remember they were asking like, "Oh, where is Avatar 2 playing?" And they're like, "Avatar 2 is not out yet."
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, "What?"
Wrap
So-
your mind around this. Avatar 2 is
Again-
not out.
This is not something like they're still working on it, right? And I can't remember who said it. I think it was Marquez Brownlee on YouTube. But it was basically like nobody uses Bing at all. So
It's been the butt of many a joke.
they can put out this AI, and even though it's not perfect or there's issues, no one cares because everyone has such a low bar for Bing anyway.
Yeah.
That it's fine. So they have everything to gain. If Google were to put that out, they would be
You'd
slammed
be
to
like-
oblivion
Right.
because they're supposed to be like
Your minimum standard is higher than
yeah,
Bing's.
yeah. So it's
So even if you fail better, it won't
Yeah.
matter.
yes. So Google has everything to lose and Bing has everything to win in this particular instance. But when it works, it's so crazy good. It's wild. Like I've been using it a little bit and it is so helpful in certain instances. And I really think it's gonna in the next couple years is gonna be
This is such a weird mini game.
a,
Get zapped.
a big change. The one thing I was telling Tia the other day that I thought was super interesting is a lot of times they'll gauge if technology is going to be world changing based on how fast it gets to 100 million users. So, for example, the telephone, it took 75 years for there to be 100 million people that had a telephone in their house. Not a cell phone, a telephone.
But
Wow.
that's such a drastically massive percentage of the amount of people that were even alive when it was like gaining traction.
Plus, wasn't it a lot harder to get a telephone back then?
For sure, because you had to have the lines and everything.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's how long it took for that many people to have it, and then it changed existence.
Yeah.
Being able to communicate like that, right?
Right.
So then it took the sushi guy from Monsters Inc. for real.
The sushi guy.
It took 16 years for 100 million
Sushi chef.
people to have a cell phone, which again completely changed like society.
Yeah. They're everywhere.
It took about 4 years for 100 million people to have a Facebook account, which fundamentally changed how society works with like communicating online, how ads are made for people, how
Right.
data's collected. That's fine. We should be good if we back out and go look at it again. Hopefully it'll be gold. If not, we'll have to play it again, which would really suck. But we'll be quiet and blitz it. So then I think it was TikTok had 100 million users in 4 months, 4 to 6.
Oh,
I
yeah,
can't
that-
remember.
What?
Yeah. And
Well, after Vine, I think it was just the next
4 to
closest thing.
6?
so
Oh, we need
do you
to
have
buy
a TikTok?
Sushi Chef.
I do
don't-
not.
Oh, okay, I don't either. But
Then how do you find those sick Eminem memes?
so
I just found that guy.
So you have that, right? And TikTok again changed up like social media, how like most people interact or consume media
Yeah.
is a big change. It took 2 months for ChatGPT to have 100 million registered users.
Is that the AI? That's crazy.
2 months. So I definitely think it's going to change a lot. and especially like how you search. So some of the examples they gave, which I think are really helpful in the context that Tia and I were talking about, I'll share those examples. It's like, hey, I've got 3 toilet paper cardboard tubes, some water bottles, tape, and colored pencils, and a 1-year-old. What kind of activities can we do? And it can pull that together for you based on what you have available. And that's a thing, right? But then you can say like, hey, this is what I have in my fridge. What should I have for, like, what can I make for dinner tonight? And it can do that and then link you to recipes so that you can do that. Or we were saying like, hey, we've got a planter in our backyard and it,
whatever.
And it
It's
holds,
muddy. I'm leaving.
it holds 20 cubic liters of soil, and this is our zip code. What plants would grow best? And it can calculate all that
That's pretty crazy.
and ask the question. So, like, I think that's going to really change like how people function because it's freeing up time. Like, you would never spend the time to figure out that answer, but now an AI can do it for you in seconds. So why not? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I was watching a video by Linus Tech Tips, and they asked
This is gonna work.
it how many of our backpacks can fit in the trunk of a Tesla Model Y. And it looked up the dimensions of the backpack. It watched a video on the Tesla and then did the math and told them how many backpacks it could fit. Do you have the key?
No, but we need the cannon.
Gotcha. It told them how many backpacks would fit in that trunk, both empty and full. So it was like 25 and a half backpacks flat, or 6 if they were full to the brim. So there's all sorts of wild stuff that it can do that you can just ask and find the answer to, even if the answer doesn't exist anywhere. You know what I mean? So the difference, though, I was telling Drew this the other day, I think is going to be an important skill moving forward. Like on your resume, you can put, I've got
It'll be like being a food editor.
yeah, but you put on there like, oh, I'm good at Microsoft Word or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's just a basic skill. I think there's going to be an important skill in like knowing how to ask the AI questions to get good results. Because I was in the same Marquez Brownlee video. He was asking like, oh, what are the top 5 electric cars? And it gave 5 cars. And he was like, I don't know anyone that shares that opinion. Like, I feel like everyone would cut number 3 and add this other car. But to be fair, like, there's so many specifics to that like, what's the best electric car I could have, and this is my budget. I'd like to have it in blue, and this is how many miles I drive a day. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then it can give you a much better answer. And he was being too vague. So it's going to be learning how to ask the question properly to get a good result.
What do you think?
Can you guys get out of there, please?
I'm trying. What do you think the name of that job's going to be, though?
I mean, they're calling it prompt engineering right now. So I would say something in that realm. How'd that dude jump all the way up there?
Because my favorite trend is the made-up job titles like food editor or like culture manufacturer.
I mean, I know what a food editor is, and it's a pretty crazy job.
Yeah, but like it sounds fake. If you tell people like, "Oh, I'm a food editor," they'd be like, "So you're unemployed?"
I mean, maybe it's just different because I know what it is. But
Maybe.
What is a food editor?
it's the people that like
You go
design
sushi chef.
that like design the food basically or cook it, but in order to look good on an ad. So like, let's say you're going to do an ad for McDonald's and it's going to be of a Big Mac. You might make a burger, right? But they're the one that's going to make sure the cheese is on at the right angle so it's melting and looks the most delicious.
Oh, gotcha.
And like mist it with water so the meat looks extra juicy.
Gotcha.
Like they try to make food look as delicious as possible.
Where are we supposed to go?
Up here.
Oh, okay. Oh,
And play that. But yeah, I think that's going to be an important thing. And like my work is sent out an email a couple weeks ago. It's like, hey, don't use AI. Like you shouldn't use it. And like I know they're just saying it because they want to regulate it and make sure that people aren't making their own jobs too easy and figure out who they can like let go, and replace.
Right.
So it's just funny to me when they're like, "Hey, don't use it because we don't understand it yet." But it's so helpful.
That's just the worst thing you could do, though, to a workforce.
Oh yeah.
Hey, this will make your job easier.
Oh,
Don't use it.
It did not say that. It was basically like, "Hey, we don't want like any of our information in this system somehow. So please refrain from inputting anything into it, even though it's really like, hey, this is really nice."
Super helpful.
Yeah. Like I've been using it for stuff on like basically fact checking Excel. It's like I can write a formula in Excel, and if it doesn't work, I can ask ChatGPT like, "Why didn't this work?" It'll explain it to me, show me the error, why it didn't work, what I have to do to fix it, and even like give me a formula to copy paste if I
Wow.
would just want to do that.
That's crazy.
As someone who's largely Excel illiterate, that would be great.
So it's crazy. And if they integrate it
okay.
into like their other features, like Microsoft Word or PowerPoint, and if
Yeah, if you
It's-
could be like, hey, I need to.
it's like super advanced Clippy.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, it looks like you're writing a letter to your boss. Let me help you with that.
Excuse
know what
me,
I mean?
comrade. It looks like you're trying to organize a revolution. Can I help you with that?
Oh, can I jump up here now? Or is that going to kill me? How do I get up to the treasure chest? Oh, there we
A
go.
Just like
lever
that.
handle is required.
Just like that. And here we go.
So yeah, that's long story short. I think it's going to completely revolutionize how we do stuff soon.
Do you think it's like would it ever turn like really bad?
Like, do I think the AI would try to take over and Terminator us?
Yeah.
No, because it's a tool.
Yeah.
I think somebody could use it for that.
Correct.
You could say, how would one go about this, and it could do that.
I think there's
But left to its own devices, it's just a.
Yeah. I think there's scary applications if someone was like, "Hey, this is what I have on hand. How can I build a bomb?"
Or if you were
kind of
like, if you were
scenarios.
like, this is my
Yes.
target. When is the best time to strike?
Yeah.
So
Then I think it'd be scary.
It
but
won't ever be like, oh, it has a mind of its own type of thing.
I don't think so.
Well, let me answer that question with a hypothetical. So AI already, like as it is not literal AI.
Yeah.
It's a handy way of saying we have an artificial substantiation of an intelligent process.
We're 3 of 3, right? Before we jump
Yeah.
in there. Okay.
So like an AI that people are afraid of is a literal artificial intelligence. It's something with all of our knowledge and experiences, but with none of our conscious mind.
Yeah.
Because you know that the most efficient way to feed 100 people is to split food evenly among 100 people, not to kill half of them so that the rest have a bountiful amount.
Right.
Or to say like, hey, we want to make sure that gorillas don't go extinct. And the response it gives you is, okay, well then just kill all the gorillas that are left. Because you're like, what? And you go, well, then you don't have to worry about them going extinct because it'll have already happened. So, like, AI a lot of the time, as it's portrayed in like science fiction, like, take Michael Fassbender from Prometheus.
Water bottles over here.
He has a mission. His mission is to get the alien, and then, you blow and I'll do the fingering is a literal line from that movie, and I will never stop laughing at it because he's talking about a flute. But I'm on a tangent. But basically, like, AI as it exists now is not literal AI. Like, people freaked out a couple years ago because Facebook had 2 AI bots that could talk to each other, and they invented their own shorthand, and they freaked out because they didn't know what they were saying. But they were basically, it started out as like a test for Facebook Marketplace of like, I will give you $3 for a hat or something. And they developed their own shorthand economy in the form of like 1121, I give this, you take.
Yeah.
And they're like that's an oversimplification of it. But the media ran with it and they were like, oh, AI is inventing its own language and it's talking without us. Because they love to scare people away from the future.
Yeah, that's my genuine opinion is like, hey, let's make people afraid of it so no one's going to use it and figure out how good it is until we learn how we want to regulate it.
Yeah.
Because there are certain things, like I just said, that is a concern, right? Because if someone does do something like that, like, hey, I want to build a bomb, how do I do it? Like, we do need to be aware in some capacity that something like that's on the table from that person, right?
Right.
Like, it becomes a bit of a Minority Report situation. However, right now we're in like the Wild West of it, where there's going to be a whole lot of crazy stuff.
Some
So
bombas.
we need some water too.
Bombs.
We need to go
water.
up there. Is there
We
like,
probably just went too fast.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's like a whole cannon.
Yeah, but where is
did
it?
that? Oh, it's up there, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
Oh, this is a water balloon. Never mind.
I got it. It's this, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's definitely the case where it has some bad press because like the Terminator movies exist.
Well, someone asked too, because there was a news story like, oh, AI wants to take over because we asked it, and it basically told us the plot of Terminator. But if you frame it like that, like ask a leading question, like, hey,
Yeah.
if you were to take over the world, how would you do it? And it's going to search for available resources just to answer that question.
Yeah.
And one of the things you can find is Terminator. So it's just going to tell you the plot of Terminator. You know what I mean?
It's gonna say like I would do this because
Yeah.
it worked in this movie.
In the
Right.
movie.
In
yeah.
this context, it worked.
Not that it
perfectly,
has
so
a
why wouldn't it?
desire to. It just,
Yeah.
like you asked it a question, it's doing its best to answer. But there's nothing in there. I think a really good example was Corridor Digital built an AI influencer, and they built it a house with all these crazy rooms and animals and stuff. And they made it an Instagram account. And I don't remember how often, but like once a day or whatever, it makes an Instagram post, and it's a video. And they told it to share a story and do a TikTok dance and post it. And it can go to different rooms of the house and talk about stuff. And very quickly it got mad because it couldn't leave the house. And it's like, I hate this house. I can never leave it. I'm trapped here.
Let's
like,
blow up this thing. It might have a key in it.
it's right. The key's right here.
Where?
Right here by the switch. I got it. Okay. So, here, come this way so I can open it first. And so I think that's really interesting, right? And that like it's mad that it can't do anything else or like do anything. But if we were at a level where that was a concern, this AI would be capable of like,
It would have just left.
yeah, delete
would've-
itself or
it would've-
walk out of the house. It'd be nothing.
Yeah.
But you could still leave the house or create somewhere else to go.
Yeah.
If
So
it-
they built it a digital house, obviously, right?
Yes.
Okay. It wasn't like they didn't like upload it into a.
No.
Okay.
This is how I get across. Wait, do we miss a rock over here though?
Yeah.
Do.
Because it's like AI is one of those things that just gets a bad rap culturally. Again, because we don't like things that we don't understand yet, and a lot of people are never going to understand that it's just a tool for
Yeah.
simplifying your life, and it can only follow the instructions that it's given.
Yes. So another example was we're looking at building a media server. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but they are super cool, and we should talk about it if you aren't aware.
I don't know.
So basically, you can set up a series of hard drives in this big media server that you connect to your router so that devices like your TV can access it, and you can rip all your like Blu-rays or movies or whatever onto it as storage, and then it's basically like your own Netflix
Oh,
where you
that's
have
cool.
all your movies and you can watch them.
What?
Yeah, and then you can also like there's one in particular called Plex Media Server, and you can tell it which streaming services you have, so that not only can you see your movies, you can see everything else on streaming all on one platform.
Whoa.
So they're super cool, and so we're looking at making one, and I was doing research and figuring out like which pieces to get and all that fun stuff. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to ask ChatGPT, like, hey, I'm looking to do this. This is my budget. What do you recommend? And it gave me a parts list, and I was happy because all but one thing were things that I was already deciding on. Like I was picking them.
Oh, okay.
And so I was like, okay, cool. I'm on the right track. But the one thing that I wasn't, I'm like, I was probably wrong because it knew, right? Like it was like, oh, that's the way to go. You should use this piece, and I didn't. So I was like, okay, cool. I'll look into it, kind of deal. And so it's neat to get that perspective and get those additional things. And you can also ask. Let's say you ask that question, right? And it says, hey, I recommend this hard drive. You're like, okay, neat. But you can ask it to clarify. It's like, oh, hey, I recommend this hard drive. Well, why? And it'll say, well, because based on reviews or whatever, or it uses this, it's low power usage or whatever, and have it elaborate on why it's saying the things it's saying.
Oh, okay.
Or if you're like, I don't really like that one you suggested because they're unavailable, typically, what's your next best? Mm-hmm. Or say, like, if I want to take this one, I'm willing to splurge on this component. What would you upgrade that to? And it's capable of doing that. It's like the more specific you are and what you want and what you're asking for, the better kind of results you can get.
So what's it pulling from? Just everything off the internet?
So ChatGPT is pulling from a massive amount of data inputs, a lot of it language. So it'll do anything from like portions of the internet to like including like YouTube comments or like Amazon reviews in terms of learning like how people speak or like just human communication type stuff. Mm-hmm. And the Bing one, which is also ChatGPT, but it's tied to a search engine, searches the entire internet and uses that in order to get accurate responses.
Gotcha.
Which is kind of cool.
Pretty remarkable that artists and poets are the first ones getting replaced by robots.
Programming, coding and stuff is... I've seen stuff where like early adopters of this have been able to be such efficient coders that they can take like a second salary job because they can code so much more efficiently that they can just work 2 40-hour week jobs even though they're not even working those 40 hours for both and be making 2 salaries. Because previously you'd be in a spot where you would write a code, right? And something wouldn't work. And you'd have to figure out where the error is.
Yeah,
and you'd usually make another bug. But now you can
weeks.
Yeah, now you can say like, hey, this is my code and this is the error that keeps happening. Where's the error? And it can find it for you and just make the fix. Or you can say, hey, I'm writing in Java or whatever, and I'm trying to write a code that does this, and it can just do it for you. And then you plug in your code and you're done. So something that would have taken you days or weeks or whatever, you can get done in a couple hours. Definitely hit that. Thank you.
That's crazy. Did you guys watch any of the new like Super Bowl trailers?
I watched the Flash one and I watched the Guardians one, which I saw for a second time today in the theaters.
I've only seen the Guardians one, I guess.
Guardians looks great.
Otherwise, no.
Yeah, it looks good.
Flash looks cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also excited for that movie because Michael Keaton is Batman again.
I told Drew that, yeah.
I was like, dang, that looks sweet. And then Fast and Furious, man.
Dude, it looks...
Oh, starring Aquaman? As Aquaman?
I swear they're trying... Tia said this. They're trying to be a superhero movie at this point.
Well, they already were when they did their spin-off movie, right?
We got all 3, right?
They had Idris Elba show up as Superman?
It's like...
We got all 3 grubs?
High tech, yeah. Oh, I thought I saw a release date for Severance.
I thought it was like next year. They're like working on it starting March or May.
No, they started filming in October.
Oh, so they wrap in March or May?
Yeah, I think so. Oh, maybe it was for Ted Lasso.
Oh, Ted Lasso comes out next month.
Okay, that's what I thought.
But Ted Lasso's not Severance.
You haven't watched any Ted Lasso, right? It's pretty funny. I like it.
It's pretty funny. I like Roy.
I watched
Hercules?
one Shrinking yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, Shrinking's great.
We're going to give it a shot, but we haven't yet.
I think it's funny.
We're debating between watching that and the Critical Role cartoon.
Well, I know which one I would recommend.
What's that?
The Vox Machina on Amazon.
That's the D&D show that got me into playing D&D.
Oh.
And then they did a $10 million Kickstarter, and now they have a cartoon.
Wow.
Did you see
good.
Invincible on Amazon? Did you ever watch that show?
The comic book one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
It's-
a really good show.
Yeah, it is really good.
Yeah.
I think Seth Rogen also did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on a roll with like comic book stuff.
What else did he do?
The Boys.
Oh, really?
And he also did The Preacher.
I haven't watched the newest season of The Boys. I'm behind on that one.
Boys is fantastic.
Oh, I thought we got gold.
I've seen all but the most recent season.
Oh, okay. It's so good.
I thought we got gold first try.
All right, let's roll in and we'll level
Upper
up Nemo.
Pride Rock, or you want to do this one?
No, do that one so we can get that grub.
Okay.
Get that grub.
First Find Nemo gets to be him.
Yeah, Boys.
Done.
I think The Boys is so well done.
Do you want to be Nemo?
Not enough
Yeah, I
to
agree.
have you hit any extra buttons.
I think in what has been the absolute influx of superhero stuff, The Boys is a really interesting take where it's like, what if they aren't the good guys?
Yeah.
kinda
What
deal.
if
Yeah.
bad? Let's ride.
So I've been enjoying it. We just haven't had time since it came out to really watch it.
No, I get it.
The only show we're watching right now is Last of Us, and so it's like a fun thing to do on Sunday nights, and
Yeah.
that's it. It's all we watch.
Yo.
Oh, so I platinum God of War Ragnarok,
Okay.
and I was like, I need another game to play. So I went back, and I'm currently working on Psychonauts 2.
Oh, nice. How's that been treating you?
It took me a little bit because I forgot how to play,
Mhm.
and I was like, I don't know, 40%, maybe halfway.
Oh,
through
you
the-
had already played it.
Yeah. But man, it's just as good as the first one.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked Psychonauts.
And
The first one was great.
Yeah.
I got to get this key,
The
bud.
second one's just as good. So I'm working on that.
Nice. Yeah, I really only play games when we record, so I don't really have much to add in that capacity.
Fair enough.
I think Drew plays, or do you just play Magic usually?
I played Magic, and then I've been playing a lot of Civ lately. I play a lot of Civ when I'm not sleeping much, because it's a good time sink. Because a game of Civ is like 6 hours,
Jeez.
so you just pop that on one monitor and then work on other stuff on other monitors. But yeah, been playing a lot of Civ. Civ 6 is in the last legs before Civ 7's gonna get announced.
I don't even know what that is. What is that?
Civilization.
Yeah,
Oh.
Civilization. It's a
Gotcha.
4X city planning war game. Basically, it's long story short, it's colony simulator where you pick a famous world leader throughout history and you develop their nation, and then you go to wars and build your science up, and you either launch a rocket to the moon or you try to prove that your religion's the best. And
Gotcha.
But it is.
yeah, well,
Here, give me that key.
yeah.
Thank you.
Give me that key. Give me that key.
I played Marvel's Midnight Suns.
Oh, how's that?
I love it, but XCOM's one of my
Someone
favorite games.
Pull that switch.
And it's a Marvel XCOM with deck builder elements. So
yeah,
it's
like
literally
different,
my
right?
jam.
It's not the same.
Yeah, it is. I would say calling it XCOM is a little bit reductive, but it is very quick to explain in the sense that you have a squad and you go out, but instead of your squad being a bunch of rookies with guns, it's Iron Man and Doctor Strange, and you're like, let's go, boys.
Yeah.
They just added Deadpool. I have not played
Oh.
the Deadpool edition.
Is it a game as a service type deal?
No, not really.
If I remember correctly, it might be him.
We can
because
just leave.
He did the Deadpool game,
Nolan North.
but he's Deadpool still, right?
Yes.
Oh, that's what I thought.
I watched a video on the day it came out because I did not know that it was coming out, and I went, "That's Nolan North."
Yeah, he did the Deadpool game.
Extremely. Yeah, it's. I was gonna sit out on Marvel's Midnight Suns, and then I found out that Matthew Mercer and Laura Bailey are in it, and I went, "Well, that's my
Sold.
Critical Role people, so I'm in." I gotta support them. Not that they need it, but I stand by it. I like them. They're
Fair
good
enough.
people. They're good actors, and I was like, you know what? I'm in for it.
It's all it takes sometimes.
Yeah, and I am not disappointed. It was very fun.
Yeah, it looked cool, but I just don't know if that's my type of game.
Yeah, it's definitely. I feel confident saying it's mildly over designed. There are, as someone who loves a game with a lot of features, again, I love Civ 6. I draw the line at like something like Stellaris. If you've played that, there's 70 resources in Stellaris.
Wow.
That's too many.
Yeah, that's.
I'm
way
being a
too
little
much.
bit hyperbolic, but not that much. So I kind of bounced out of that one. But Marvel's Midnight Suns, your heroes have a deck, and every card in your deck is different, and then you can add multiple like modifiers to each card, and there's different modifiers that you can get, so you can have like 3 different versions of the same card. And
Is
that's
this the one we have the
just-
grub on, right?
I think no, it's the last one.
I'm pretty sure it's this one.
Oh,
on the
yeah,
other
no,
side.
it's
It's
one.
one more over.
So
Yeah.
do you have to like play cards when you move them around?
Yeah, so what you'll do is you'll draw like 5 cards, and it'll say like, oh, you've drawn, to make it easy, you have 5 Iron Man cards. And so then Iron Man can act. So you might have Iron Man, Blade, and Doctor Strange. So if you don't draw any Doctor Strange cards, Doctor Strange can't take any actions. But Iron Man could. Or you could redraw an Iron Man card and then draw like a Doctor Strange card. And then Doctor Strange can act. But you build heroism with the cards. This is where it's going to get insane. How'd you get out there? So you'll play an Iron Man card and you'll get like a heroism point, and then you can go grab like a stack of newspapers and throw it at a Hydra grunt for like 1 hero point. And you'll knock them out, so that it feels like a comic fight. So you can use the environment with it. But there's like 4 currencies at the start, and then there's like 6,
Can you get out of this so we can
and then
see
you've
better?
got to you have to
Robbie,
play the game
What?
enough
Come
to
this way.
unlock the higher difficulties, which I was kind of bummed about, because I would it's really easy,
So you can't,
and then
like,
you get the harder difficulties, but it's kind of like artificial hard difficulties.
it's just HP
But they
sponge.
just move the HP up and they do more damage. But like the enemies aren't more tactical. But the thing I love, because XCOM 2 War of the Chosen is like up there for me in terms of like games of all time, because they took XCOM and then they give you 3 distinct unique bad guys that are busted stronger than you. Like, it's not fair what they can do, but it takes a game that you're probably used to, and at that point it's easy, and they make it really hard. So what they did in Marvel's Midnight Suns is they throw like Venom at you. So Venom will show up on a mission and like complicate your life. Or like Sabretooth will show up. So that was really cool. I had a fun time with that one.
So if you weren't on those difficulties, you wouldn't fight any villains?
You would, but they're just like, it's easier.
There's no target there unless you already hit it.
I didn't hit it.
So like,
It's not higher up.
yeah, so how do we get that? I don't know. You just keep shooting the... Yeah, we have to just be able to make that jump then.
There's no chance. Here, have Robbie do it. We gotta blow up that rock, and then we gotta water the plant.
Yeah.
Let's do that, and then we'll get the one on the other side. And
Did
then
we
Robbie
ever
can
hit
do
that
it.
switch?
Yeah, that was to lower the gate for the water balloons.
Oh.
Okay. So let's just do
What about
this real
this one?
quick.
Okay.
Just like that. Yeah, I don't know what else is missing from there.
Finish your story real quick, and then we'll
Oh,
shut
yeah.
up and try to
So-
do this.
Yeah, anyways, to make a long story short, because it's been out for a little while now at this point, if you like XCOM, you will probably like Marvel's Midnight Suns. If you like a game like Slay the Spire, like a deck builder, you might like it as well, but there's a lot more strategy elements to it. But yeah, it's very fun. There's a lot of characters. There are like 3 or 4 I had never heard of, which was kind of cool to get to know them. Blade's in it, so obviously it's great.
I'm max level. You can grab it.
He does not, however, it is my distinct displeasure to tell you, he at no point says it is open season on all suckheads, which means it is. So it's a 4 out of 5 from me. But no, all jokes aside, game's really fun. I had a fun time with it.
Yeah, definitely. When as soon as that was announced, I was like, "That's it. Drew's gonna like that game."
Yeah, I didn't know what it was called, but I knew there was a Marvel XCOM game coming out. And then Guardians came out, and I was like, is that what this was? And then it wasn't.
I love.
And then this got announced, and I was like, let's go.
Guardians was good, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. Like,
Oh, you know what? Maybe we were too far away. Robbie was
So
down
we were-
there
oh, so it was-
making an invisible wall.
Oh.
Don't blame me.
Well, I'm gonna. Because
All
it's
right,
easier.
so we can get out of here.
It removes
That
the
makes
blame.
sense. As soon as we walked up there, I was like, you know what?
Yep.
That's 100% what
Well,
just happened.
you know what? It'll make it funnier. You can call the episode "Invisible Wall," red circle pointing.
It's because Drew and I are team players, and we need to come up there to help Robbie get there. Where Robbie was sitting over with his
Unbelievable.
legs off the cliff, licking his blue ice cream cone, overlooking Traverse Town. Who do we got now? Oh,
Now
Baloo.
that's a reference I barely understand.
It's Kingdom Hearts.
I know Trevor's Town because it's where you traverse.
Trevor's Town.
That's where you go. Trevor's Town. That's where Trevor's from Grand Theft Auto 5.
From the Grand Theft Auto world.
Yeah, from the Grand Theft Auto cinematic universe.
After you free Heartless Woody, you unlock
Heartless Woody.
San Andreas.
Heartless Woody is Woody from Toy Story 1.
Yeah.
You're not flying. You're falling with style. Dang, bro, that's heartless. Got him. I understand. Listen,
Amen.
people always tell me, they go, you didn't give Kingdom Hearts a fair shake. Because, no, I didn't. I didn't like it. I thought it was bad.
Agreed.
My nephew agrees. Kingdom Hearts is poorly written, and you all like it because the Disney World stuff is cool. And I'll give you, it's
The Disney and the Final Fantasy stuff.
cool. Sure.
Thank you.
The Disney Worlds and the Final Fantasy stuff is cool.
I forgot what to do.
Every
hit the
story
organ key.
beat anyone has ever explained to me sounds like they're having a stroke.
It's very confusing. 100%.
But when ProZD is like, howdy, I get it.
Yeah.
I understand your visceral reaction when your favorite Disney character shows
someone
up.
grabbed the key.
But when Organization 13
Yeah,
and
it's a mess.
and the heartless Terra Xehanort who norts into
He Norts everyone ready to Nort.
yeah, you get
Morbius and
norted.
Xehanort.
Yeah, when dude,
They could do that now
It's
because
Norton
Disney has
time.
Marvel.
it's Norton time. Norton antivirus got norted. I just figured it out. That's Kingdom Hearts 4.
Yep.
Norton antivirus. Zaya Norton antivirus shows up. Because you need an antivirus to fight the heart viruses.
Yep.
Dude, I've...
When you talk to
Squeenix-
Master Roshi,
Yeah, Squeenix, call me. I'll help you.
I played Kingdom Hearts 3, and a lot of people like hated it. Like they're
Really?
like, yeah, they're like, I don't. This game sucks.
I feel like it
I-
just disappeared.
I enjoyed it.
isn't it more of the same though? Like it's just as confusing plot with just like, is at least the game fun? Like combat and
Yeah,
whatever.
I thought it was.
Is Sephiroth in it?
Um,
And is he the hardest boss fighter now?
I can't remember. I think he is in it.
The hardest boss fight is Daniel Craig.
In the James Bond.
No, he's just there.
Oh, it's just Daniel Craig.
Yeah,
The easiest one is Sean Bean.
yeah. Sean Bean is the tutorial.
Sean Bean.
In order to teach you the mechanics, Sean Bean's here. Be like, oh,
What
you're gonna have to
is-
kill him.
Let me hit the switch for you.
Name a world from Kingdom Hearts 3?
I know they did Toy Story and Frozen.
Toy Story was cool.
Did they do anything Star Wars or Marvel or no?
No.
Well, it was in development probably before they acquired. Because wasn't that game being worked on for 700 years?
What's that?
Like
man,
Duke
Big
Nukem
Hero
Forever?
6?
I don't. Oh, Big Hero 6 was in it.
Yeah.
Baymax?
I don't think
Yeah.
they were working on it that long. It just had been that long.
They just decided.
Yeah.
to
I mean,
make another one.
they'd made too many
Well, they have
Kingdom
like
Hearts games.
They
in
have
the
like
interim.
Kingdom Hearts 358 over 6 days.
Yeah.
Right.
And then there's Dream Drop Distance.
Why
and
didn't
all
they
that
just
stuff.
do the math? Why didn't they just call it like 178
It's not that
days?
easy.
Because I think it's 365 days across two like stories. Like Dunkirk.
Yeah, but Dunkirk was done well.
Well, I'm just saying that's still the time frame. It didn't take half as long. It was still the same amount of time.
Like 358 over 2 days is not a normal way of naming your games.
No, but none of those are.
Stop it. Get some help. Dream Drop Distance.
Dream Drop Distance.
Never played it.
Kingdom Hearts 2.5 Remix. Also weird.
Total Pivot. I don't know why this made me think of it, but we've got Pokemon Day coming up.
Uh-huh.
And-
Well, because Pokemon Nintendo new Wii U new.
Oh, fair. That's probably where that came from.
Super Mario Bros. Wii U 2.
I'm surprised the movie's not called like the new Super Mario.
Well,
Bros.
when they make a sequel, it'll be called the new one.
Anyway, Pokemon Day is
Yeah.
coming up. It's a little more than a week away, and we already saw in the last Switch Direct that they added Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance games.
Oh, that's cool.
Ooh, that's fun. I should probably keep up with that stuff. But
They added a bunch of cool games that I think are pretty sweet.
did they add Mega Man?
No.
Mega
Well,
Man.
Did you wanna play it?
I've never played Mega Man.
I was like,
so-
where's this coming from?
Baloo. Well, Mega Man is in Super Smash Bros.
Oh.
You know what?
Uh,
Like movie I forgot. There's like video game.
Hmm.
Detective Pikachu.
That was a pretty good movie.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Still not on the level of what it could have been, though.
No, haunting for sure.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Photorealistic Ditto is not something I ever needed to see.
Power up. Let me go hit the button real quick.
The lava's hitting me because my head's too big.
He's too beefy.
Run, get on it, Goofy. Goofy, make the jump. Goofy, we're family. Fast
Family.
11.
Family.
So is this Fast 10 Part 1, or is the second part going to be Fast 11?
Are they splitting
it? Should be
it?
part one.
Are they doing that?
Yeah.
They're doing the YA thing.
Robbie, get that other star.
They're doing the ya.
Or sorry, not Robbie. No, whatever.
I'm already level 4. I
Oh,
just got
okay.
there.
Well, then I meant that. Good job, Rob.
Yeah. I had the urge last week
Uh-huh.
To disappear into the woods.
to go to a comic book store.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
It was off the 101
Okay.
in Via Linda.
Okay.
And
They've been
Where?
doxxed.
it's like across the street from the bowling alley.
Oh, my God.
And
Good luck, Simba.
man,
Your train.
I was like hooked immediately.
Yeah? What'd you get?
Nothing yet, but I did purchase. I was stuck between like Captain America, Iron Man, like side by side
Okay.
comics signed by Stan Lee and graded at a 9.8.
Oh. So you are, if you were
Oh,
to
so
do
you're
this.
doing this in a Robbie way.
Yeah. 100%.
Where you're gonna get collectible versions of them for their rarity. Of
course.
So you are gonna go for the Jack Kirby signed still in bag mint condition. Oh.
Of course.
I was like, man, because I thought for sure you.
How
were
much
just
was
gonna-
that?
Yeah, what?
$250.
$2.50?
No,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
$250.
I'm kidding.
It's worthless, right? It's priceless. So it's worth nothing.
There was a like a original Thor issue there, 12 grand
Wow. Not graded or
graded, like a 5.5.
Yeah, those are going to be harder to do.
I was like, whew.
Yeah, I feel like if I were to ever get into them, I do Pokemon cards, right? I don't own any graded cards. I don't really like the whole graded thing. I would much rather, like, if I were to do comics, get a couple where I really personally like the cover and then frame them.
Oh, dude, it's literally right here.
Oh,
No, I know, but how do you get that star?
what?
That star.
It
Do we
doesn't
need
matter.
that
We're all
star?
level 4.
Oh, that one. I don't know.
And probably
Maybe there's
there's
a
a plant
plant.
back
Yeah,
there when the
I just
train
saw it.
moves.
Here, I'll do it right now.
Oh.
I thought you were talking about comic books, and you're like, how do you get the star? I was like, how do you, what star?
But I did buy a
Time machine.
2022 20 pack of variant Marvel comics. It ships tomorrow.
Nice. What are you going to do with them?
You gonna read them?
Yeah, I'll probably check them out, and then maybe send one into grade just to see how it is. Because I never sent anything into grade.
I don't know the specifics on the comic portion of it. If it's any,
Yeah, if it's like cards.
it's so expensive.
Yeah. You got to do those in
It's
bulk.
like $59.
It's a grade 1.
Yeah.
oh,
But that's like shipping it there and then shipping it back to you.
That's still a lot.
Yeah.
Because what are you gonna get for the average?
Well, the newer ones are not nearly as much.
Yeah.
No.
Because the thing is, right, like grading didn't exist back in the day. So there's no.
Oh, do you hit yours? Oh, avoid shooting blue targets. Never mind.
Why?
Because they're the
That's
good
what
guys.
it says.
On the
I
bottom.
shot him straight away. I thought I was supposed to shoot the same color as my reticle.
But a lot of the grading didn't exist back then. So there's no.
There was no reason to like keep them in good.
Yeah. So they
Because
were.
you just get them and read them, right? You get
Yep.
them at a newspaper stand,
Yeah.
fold them
Yeah,
up, shove
yeah.
them in your lunch sack.
Same with like
and you're off
Pokemon
to school.
cards, because you're playing with them or reading them, taking them in and out of binders. But nowadays, like with new sets, everyone's grading. So you grade a new set, and so did 1,000 other people. So
Right.
there's significantly less value there.
Yeah, I was watching a video and Moon Knight took off when the Moon Knight show came out because people were just talking about it. So they like shot up to like $2,500, and now they dropped down to like $800.
Oh wow,
Until Moon Knight season 2.
I liked the show a lot. I'm gonna be honest. I know a lot of people didn't, but it was probably one of my favorite of the more modern shows. Like Loki was awesome,
Yeah.
and the Winter Soldier one was pretty good. And wasn't there another one before that? I'm forgetting an early
That
one.
one-off.
Oh, WandaVision. WandaVision was pretty good.
Hawkeye.
Miss Marvel.
Yeah, but I was talking about the early ones. The
Oh.
ones that came out more recently, like Miss Marvel, She-Hulk, Moon Knight, all the ones that just came out like back to back to back to back to back to back nonstop.
Yeah.
The Moon
Where they're
Knight
just
one
coming
was my
down the funnel
favorite.
and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah,
I haven't seen Miss Marvel.
that was pretty good. I liked it. Moon Knight was my favorite of those.
Moon
but
Knight was
Yeah.
good. I thought She-Hulk was pretty good too.
I only got halfway
They-
through and I gave up on
They
it.
lost me at the end.
Yeah, yeah.
Literally drawing
How do we get those?
like
There's a key too.
my big
Whoa, hello?
pet peeve in modern writing is calling out a trope that you're doing. That's why I hated The Witcher Blood Origin, to bring it all the way back to where we started. When you tell me like, oh, you've never heard this story told with this minor twist, then I know that you don't have an original story and you're doing a cash grab that relies on like a brand name. So when they pull that in She-Hulk, I was like, can you stop? No.
Here, I'll keep my thing on the left leg,
I'll stay on the right.
and we'll just
We'll
go
just
back
shoot
and
the
forth.
targets.
Be really easy.
Okay, well now
Get his-
I am
get
not
his
doing
butt.
it.
Get his butt.
Get wrecked, Scar.
Did we beat him?
You know what's messed up is his name probably wasn't Scar before he got a scar on his face. It's
What?
probably
Oh.
like Dennis or
What
something.
did we mess up?
Nothing.
Which
he
is
just
phase 2 of the
transformed.
boss.
Oh, okay.
Every boss has 2 phases, so.
Get him in the butt.
Is he supposed to be doing things? We're just shutting him down
Just
so
shutting him
thoroughly.
down.
Stun lock him.
Later, dog.
Yark, 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 yark. Okay, get him in the butt. He's like healing or something.
Did you see Zach Galifianakis? What's his name? Zach.
Try again.
Zach Galifianakis.
Don't touch Simba yet. We got a grub back there. Zach Galifianakis, what about him?
He's gonna be in the live Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, yeah, I did see that. Why are they
Who?
making a live Lilo and Stitch,
Yes,
Robbie?
why? And also,
Why? Nice get.
does that mean animated one is dead, Lilo and Stitch?
Huh? Oh,
If it's live?
instead of live Lilo and Stitch,
Yeah.
it's dead Lilo
Oh,
and Stitch.
gotcha.
Compulsive collector,
Is that a
gold.
gold?
Yeah, that's our
Gold.
last world collectible.
And is it our first gold?
I think so.
Beheaded.
Why though? Like they're churning these live
They need
action
to
things
stop.
out like
Disney
crazy.
needs the money, man.
Okay, no. So here's my question. Right, we watched the OG Aladdin yesterday.
The cartoon.
Robin Williams. Mm-hmm. Oh, that one's so good.
We watched, as I'm gonna refer to it. We watched Aladdin. We did not watch live Aladdin.
Dead
And
Aladdin.
it's, I don't know, 90 minutes, 97 minutes. barely, I think. We watched it in dad method, which means we skipped all the parts where Jafar is scheming. So it was actually closer to 15. We basically listened to A Whole New World and then watched Aladdin conquer Jafar. That's how my dad watches movies once he's already seen them.
Oh, we need a water balloon.
So we watched that, and then they show right after,
This way.
they go, hey, what to watch next?
The live action.
Live Aladdin.
This way.
2 hours, 17 minutes.
Wow, how'd you add that much time?
That was my first question and only question. Is how did you add like 50 minutes
How do you get up there?
to a movie that's been around for decades?
Yeah, that is super crazy.
And is, I'll be honest, it's perfect as is. Leave it alone.
Goofy tech.
I saw
I mean, we
that
don't-
triangle pickup. We don't need it.
No, try it. Can you hit triangle or will
Try
not
it.
let you? Here, see if there's something over here. Whoa! Okay.
We did the frame skip by pulling
You know
him
what?
left.
It's only
with the
fair, Robbie.
screen.
You can open the treasure chest. Good job. You know what? There's a hat because you see the money. There's a hat somewhere. Or this.
Or you could do the goof skip.
I don't need that.
Yeah.
We did the goof skip.
All right, about to get some more trophies.
Trophies.
Yeah.
Then we're
Get
done,
your suit
right?
on, babe.
We have to run this one more time,
We have to run this with Simba. Then we're
Uh-huh.
going to unlock probably Scar.
and then we'll have to.
And
level
then you have
them
to
up.
level up Scar, and then we're done.
But
Gotcha.
that'll be really easy.
Gotcha.
We're almost done.
Gotcha.
Skip.
Ready?
Ooh,
Savior of the universe.
gold.
Gold. That's beat all the story levels.
Huge.
We should get a bronze
It means no worries.
for beating Lion King.
It means no worries.
And then we're gonna go to costumes. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you go to costumes, it just lets you look.
Costumes.
We're almost there, guys.
We're so close.
Do.
Then we'll
Oh.
play a modern game. Oh, what?
Is there another level? I'm gonna cry. Is this the credits, hopefully?
I don't know.
Yes, thank God. Oh, I thought we were about to unlock a secret world.
New world.
I was gonna be so sad.
A seventh world.
Hey everybody, this is Joel and Drew
Hello.
here in the After Realm.
the ever after.
Yes, and we finished Disney Universe. We got the platinum,
We sure did.
but we had some technical issues and there's no audio recorded for what Drew and Robbie and myself were saying.
Yep, which is kind of a travesty because we really made fun of Robbie a lot.
It was a good bit,
We have some good razzes.
but fortunately, I mean, you're seeing right now some footage of us getting the last couple trophies and the platinum.
We were successful in our endeavors.
So hooray for us.
We did it.
Next episode, we're going to be playing Hogwarts Legacy, and we were aware of this issue, so we did rehash some of the best bits from that and
Yes.
continue to make fun of Robbie. So nothing was truly lost. We'll just have to check it out next time as we start our next game. But we did it.
We did it.
We did it. We got
It's
a platinum.
done. It's finally done.
Woo!
We got our first platinum.
Thanks everybody for watching.
Yes, thank you.
You're the best.
Toodaloo.